Hey, MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about Jacksonville State at Middle Tennessee. There are 2 games Wednesday night, but I'm only breaking down one of them, and it's going to be the first one. This one's free. It'll be at 7:30. Shout out to these teams. We know them really well. I'll go in depth on them. But before I get into it, I just want to show everybody I'm putting out a free Prize Picks play. It is a free unit flip. It's not that hard. It's 3 Green Goblins, and it's Cam Cook, 100 yards rushing. Cam Cook, anytime touchdown or at least one touchdown, and then Keyshawn Owens, the starting running back for FIU, he scores a touchdown as well. That'll turn 20 into 40. If you haven't seen it here, 20 into 48, actually. It's a little better than plus 100 odds. And this is a slam dunk bet worth making on Wednesday night. Unless Cam Cook doesn't get 100 yards, he's definitely going to score a touchdown, and Owens scores touchdowns for FIU. This is the place to be right here. I would probably do this for multiple units. I'd say 3 units. If I was being honest, 3 full units for me, so that's 300 to get back 720. That's kind of how I feel about it, and that's a Wednesday night, so I think you can make a ton of money on these 3 right here. So shout out to you. I'm giving it out for free. Enjoy it, guys. Shout out to the MVPs and anybody watching the video. If you don't watch the videos, you can't make the money. That's all I'm saying, so shout out to you. All right, but let's go break down these teams. Jacksonville State, the Gamecocks, 4-3, 3-0 in Conference USA play, and then the exact opposite, Middle Tennessee State, one of the worst teams in America. We can't stand their offense or lack thereof. They're 1-6 overall, 0-3 in Conference USA play. They're hard to watch. They're very hard to watch. So we're looking at a team in Jacksonville State that is finding ways to win. Granted, they're beating scrub teams, if I'm being honest. They're beating Delaware, Sam Houston, and Murray State. Like those aren't good wins. Those aren't impressive wins at all. Okay? They really aren't. And then when you watch them lose to Southern Miss, well, that's supposed to happen. They lost to a Sun Belt team. Oh, then they lose to Georgia Southern, another Sun Belt. It's like, whoa, hold on here. This is just a good team in Conference USA, and they're playing very competitive games against terrible teams. So I'd be very careful with this spread. I'd be very careful with the outcome of this game, even though Middle Tennessee leaves nothing to be desired. And the teams that these guys have edged out here in Jacksonville State, they managed to win. Middle Tennessee manages to lose those games. Now, we know them edging out against Nevada. There were 10-point underdogs in that. I predicted this win. Congratulations. But the Marshall loss looked terrible and ugly. Kennesaw State, they got outgunned and outmanned. And then you lose a game to Missouri State that you shouldn't have lost. But Missouri State used the backup quarterback. He's dual threat, and you can't handle dual threat quarterbacks because you got a really slow defense. And that's going to be really important in this video. And then we have Delaware over here. You lose to Delaware, and it wasn't by enough. I was on Delaware that night. We got the spread wrong. So the spread's 5.5. For this particular spread, I'm going to take Jacksonville State, but it's one of these situations where I'm like, yo, that's a lock. I'm walking away from it. And then I go, yeah, Vegas got it wrong. And then I start looking at Jacksonville State, and I'm like, man, they get scored on too much. They just do. But hopefully they win by a touchdown. Hopefully they do. All right? That's what I'll say. I'm on it. It's a lock for me because I can't believe in Middle Tennessee in any way, shape, or form. The only way Middle Tennessee scores is just random luck. Random luck, fluke accidents. Other than that, there's nothing sustainable about them. So let's talk about Jacksonville State and their players. First things first, it'll tell you the season leader and all this is Gavin Wimsatt. He's not the quarterback. He doesn't play anymore because he sucks royally. The guy that plays is this freshman white boy, and he's raw. Caden Creel over here, he's going to rush for over 100 yards against these bums. He can do it all. I like Caden Creel's ability to run. He throws okay. That doesn't matter. It's just like last year with Jacksonville State. You got a running quarterback in Huff. Well, you got a running quarterback in Creel, and he's great at it. He's just crafty running around. Middle Tennessee State has one of the slowest defenses you will see. Right up there with Charlotte. Just pathetically slow defenses. And Caden Creel's going to catch the edge and run around. He's going to extend plays and get first downs and do all that fun stuff. You can see it here. He is the team's second leading rusher, even though he didn't start the whole season. He's putting up monster numbers. He is never going to catch up to Cam Cook, but that's okay. Cam Cook's the nation's leading rusher, almost has 1,000 yards already. Cam Cook is known goods. Cam Cook was the starting running back at TCU last year. He is a Power 4 starting running back. But he's here in Conference USA, the lowest level of football, and he's balling out of control. So shout out to him. Cam Cook will run all over this team as well. You can trust Cam Cook. He has 10 rushing touchdowns. It's going to happen more and more and more, both of them, all right? So I'll get to the chart here in a bit and show you guys what I think, but those are happening. Receivers, the only guy I really believe in is Rex Steiner, the white boy Brock Rex Steiner. Although you're gonna get really good numbers on Caleb Coombs, I'm not with it. I'm on Rex Steiner, but it's not much because I don't believe in any of the receivers. I really wouldn't rock with any of these receivers. I would just not try to get the whole thing surgically right. Just get one thing right? In this game, the one thing you're going to get right is Cam Cook will not be stopped by that Middle Tennessee defense. I don't believe it, and neither will Caden Krill. Got it? Got it. Okay, defensively, kickers, special teams, they got a hell of a kicker. They can make it over 50 yards. They've done it multiple times. Yes, Rippa missed a few, and it looked bad, but when it matters, he'll make them. Leading tackler is Trevor Woods. You should know him. He's the safety that used to start at Colorado, transferred after being moved to linebacker. Now he's here. Got a bunch of players that you can believe in. The defense is not bad. I would say their offensive line is pretty good. Their offensive line is very dominant. They have a kid in there. His name is Grayson. Bubba Grayson. He's amazing. So just remember that. And the rest of the defense plays pretty stout. They play pretty tough. They do. Shout out to them. Jacksonville State. And then Middle Tennessee. Ugh. Middle Tennessee. So hard to deal with, man. So Nick V's the quarterback. He's been there many years. He's very, very mid. He hasn't gotten any better. No better. Nick V is, I'm trying to think. Did you just hear, what's his name? Who's the kid, the wide receiver at Boise State that just got suspended? Chris Marshall? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's that guy, bro. He's just going to let you down when it really matters. You might start believing in the young man. You might think he matured and got better. Nah. Just a bum. That's Nick V. He's a bum. Running back, I've told you many times, Jaquil Meadowbrook on a losing team, on one of the worst offenses in America, he averages almost 6 yards a carry. He's that good. This is the best player on the team. He doesn't belong at MTSU. I don't think you can trust them to ride him the whole game because once they start trailing, they give up on the run game, and then they just start throwing. And when they start throwing, it's a lot of 3-and-outs. It's a lot of empty yards. It's a lot of turnover. It's whatever. It's just a mess. There's no identity to this offense whatsoever. You want to be a passing offense because that's what you were last year. The difference is you had Omari Kelly. You had Holden at tight end. You had some phenomenal players. You don't have those guys. Cox looks good. Cameron Lacey looks good, but they're not used enough for you to believe in them from a gambling perspective at all. Middlebrook can catch some passes out of the backfield, not used enough. Tipton, same thing. Like, you're going to see all these guys playing, and they're going to look like they're getting some stats. I would never bet on them in a million years. As a matter of fact, against this defense, I'm leaving Middlebrook out. I'm just not going there. So I'm not doing it. Kicking, they got a decent kicker. They got a good kicker. Are they in field goal range? All the time. Kind of, sort of, but their offense is so bad. Defensively, their defense has players you would know if you've been watching this team. They've been around for years. Brandon Buckner transferred from Oregon. Parker Hughes has been a leader on this team for multiple seasons. Like, they have players. They just don't have speed. No team speed on the edges, at linebacker, outside linebacker specifically, or corners. You can blow past these dudes in every which way you want. That's what offenses have been doing. Jacksonville State's not going to beat you with passing. They're just going to outrun you to the edges, and they're going to beat you up. And Cam Cook's going to keep running. At least that's my assessment of this game. So, like I said, the spread, I'm on it, bro, but it's like I'm on it at -5.5 when I got in on Sunday. But it's not probably, and I even have it as my number one spread on the whole week. But that's in the early video. When I actually sit down and analyze these teams like I have been for the last 48 hours now since I made that video on, I made the video on Sunday. I went back and I looked at it and I'm like, how is MTSU covering these spreads? How are they scoring? And it's freak accidents everywhere. But Jacksonville State just doesn't look as dominant as I want them to. And a lot of that has to do with I don't believe in Chad Kelly as a defensive coordinator or a secondaries coach, although that's what he is. I'm just not with it. So what I'm saying is there's some spots in here where you can make a ton of money. And it's probably for the prop bettors who believe in Cam Cook because his anytime touchdown at 340 is actually a bargain. He's going to score a touchdown. So I believe in him. And I think Caden Krill is a dangerous pick, but he's only got 3 touchdowns on the year. But this is the type of defense he scores on. So putting them together is 133. That's where it's at. I wouldn't bet on anybody else, but I would probably lean towards Cam Cook for 2 touchdowns. That's a little more intriguing to me. If I do Cam Cook for 2 touchdowns and I parlay that with a money line win, who cares about the spread? Now we're at 157. That's probably a quarter of a unit or half a unit. I don't feel the need to get rich on a Wednesday, but that's a play worth making. When you get in here, you start looking at alternate yards. Brock Rechsteiner, he's the leading receiver for Jacksonville State. I like him at 25 yards. It's a -250. You look at Cam Cook, you go to rushing yards, they're making you get paid all the way out to 150. And this is why I'm playing the Prize Picks bet more so than the others. Prize Picks at the plus 100 range really works for me. I like him at 100 yards rushing. Is he going to get more than 100 yards rushing? Theoretically, yes. But what if, like, it's just you're going to be waiting a long time to get your money? Maybe. Careful, man. Careful. So that's where I'm at on Cam Cook there. Player receiving yards. I think they've got too many receiving yards on some of these guys. Like, I've seen Cox go MIA for an entire game, or Lacey not get to 56. I've seen Lacey get 20 or 30 yards. So I'm not going to try to get the whole script right this game. I'm going to leave that alone. Alternate spread. I feel comfortable with Jacksonville State at -2.5. Like a motherfucker, win by a field goal. You got a hell of a field goal kicker. You're supposed to win the game anyways. So win the game, and if you need to win it by a field goal, then go do that. I like that. They should win by more. They should. Because I don't trust MTSU to keep scoring with this offense. MTSU has no identity. Jacksonville State does. So the -2.5 is actually really good payout at 184. That plus, like, you could just do -2.5, and then you go up here and do a Cook touchdown. What's it come out to? 128. Dude, you could slam that motherfucker like for a full unit. You can believe that for a full unit. You can. Or you can do his 2 touchdowns, and you're probably at a half a unit. A little scary. The 2 touchdowns is a good enough payout by itself. I wouldn't be parlaying it, right? I also believe in the over in this game because Jacksonville State has had the tendency to let teams score and hasn't been covering the spread and blowing things out. Like, I'm going to just go with Jacksonville State. I'm going to trust the over. I have a spot on the board. I'll show you guys here in a second. But I'm going to trust it probably in the 44 range. And that's a -330. You might want to go the 390 route. Look at that right there. So you got Jacksonville State -2.5 over 43.5. This is kind of where you want to live in this range right here for sure. Because I don't know how much MTSU is going to contribute to scoring. MTSU might only have 3 touchdowns in them. They might. I hope they only have 3 touchdowns in them. And in Jacksonville, I want Jacksonville State to put up 35 tonight. I want them, or Wednesday night, excuse me. Not trying to get all that right. First quarter spread looks like a bargain if Jacksonville State's winning. It's at a +112 right now. That's a standalone bet. Don't parlay it with anything. And just hope that they're not tied at 7-7 or 0-0. If they're winning by anything, it's 1.5 points, bro. If they're winning by anything, you got it. So if you think Jacksonville State's going to come out here and win this game and be in the lead, that's your spot right there at the end of the first quarter. It's a +112 spot. Feels like a solid bet to make. Maybe for a quarter unit, half a unit. You don't want to ruin your whole night by missing on it, but you could go a full unit and then just call it a night and get that part right. But it's a coin flip, and then you'll be chasing the rest of the night. So let me show you the board. Once again, just a reminder, the prize picks that I showed you at the beginning of this video is important. I believe that's the best place to win your money or make your money. Now the board here. What I have is Jacksonville State money line, Cam Cook anytime touchdown. It's a -133, or at least it was. 2 touchdowns is a +120. Jacksonville State alt spread -2.5. What I showed you with an alt over a 44.5 comes out to -108. Then we've got Jacksonville State alt spread again. Alt over, this time I went even lower, 37.5 to protect myself. And then I did an alt under a 72.5. How do we get to 72.5? How? And I'm at +101 money in this one. So this one feels like the really safe bet to make for this particular game. I only have one lean that I believe in, and it's a +112. I hope it hits. Shout out to them. Remember, the hit percentages are up top. Careful. Parlays, props, like some stuff you just be missing, bro. But if you see plus money, you probably want to chase it. It looks like a pretty good spot to be in. Cam Cook and Caden Krill, anytime touchdown, +133. Cam Cook, 2 touchdowns. Caden Krill, anytime touchdown. That's 284. It's a dream come true if we get that right. That's... Once again, these hit at 28% because you're trying to get surgical here. And then I've got Cam Cook for 100 yards rushing with Rex Steiner's 25 receiving yards. That's the 2 props I put over here with the alternate spread over here at -184. One thing I'm trying to point out here is you don't have to get it all right in this game. You can go to the next game. Kajan Owens, the starting running back for FIU, his anytime touchdown is there and available, and he's a touchdown guy. So between the 2 of them, you got a parlay spot to believe in. That video will not be free. I'll be breaking down those teams in the next video. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.